Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Ingo touchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you louder, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This man not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Aha. Now you not done here, all these bad politicians, them we call themselves politicians. When they thief our money, we no want make the common man get waiting suppose get for this country. And I never hear something. Now go hear one, Maiyegun, you go show na paper. Maiyegun diary Politico.
Hello there. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live. And thank you so much for joining me tonight. So if this is your first time, the first time of watching Maiyegun's Diary Politico, or even second time, but you haven't really subscribed on the page, I would implore you to do that just before you settled in. You will not regret that, I can tell you. Ask my friends who have been around for a long time. So tonight, as usual, we will give ourselves an update, add our own opinion, and let everybody make do with what they can with the information that we're going to share today. The issue of Oduduwa Republic is taking shape. I want to tell you that that is taking big shape, and indeed, it will continue to be as long as we keep the momentum, as long as we keep the awareness going. It doesn't matter if people disagree. Yes, they have the right to disagree, because you can disagree with something you don't really understand or you don't fully understand. Our own responsibility as we progress into this is to discover more and more people that will eventually understand why they should be demanding for something better. The highest of it is to break away from Nigeria. There are more to be demanded before that eventually happens. It starts from talking to ourselves. And that's what we are doing. So we will continue. It's gaining momentum seriously in Yoruba land now, even outside Yoruba land, which is a good thing. If the politicians think that it is no more, it is not tenable anymore for them to keep pushing for restructuring, except for their own political, profit, except when it is more politically profitable, they will promote restructuring. And whenever it is, not needed anymore, they discard it away without caring about the consequences of that. So the Yoruba people have decided to stage a 1 million man march across Yoruba land and across the world. A solidarity march to show that indeed Yorubas are demanding for the change to the status quo of whatever they have in Nigeria called United Nigeria. I also read it in the news today that the new chief of army staff, Tahir or whatever, the other guy that is now there that replaced Buratai the butcher, right, gave a warning and he said, "We are coming for you." And sincerely, we know they are going to come for us. We know they are going to come for the Yorubas, because the elite in Yoruba land, starting from Tifnumbu himself, they are now under serious watch from those who promised them a power that they will never get. So we know they are coming. And when this guy said they were coming, they are coming. We are coming for you. That's what he said. That means the Nigerian army will soon invade Yoruba land, different towns and communities in Yoruba land, mass arrest, assault, and even killings of Yoruba young and old by the Nigerian army in the name of looking for those who are asking for Oduduwa Republic. So it is better we all know, so that when we get to that stage, you will not be asking yourselves again, how did we get here? So they're opening the door for them to do that. Last night, the news came that the Nigerian army in Abia, they were looking for the ESN members, and then they killed 11 civilians, which they reported as ESN members. The Eastern Security Network members, the guys who are mostly in the forest. You won't find them in the city. You won't find them in any of those towns and all of that. They are mainly in the forest. But Nigerian army killed innocent people in the dark, took their pictures and released their pictures to the public that they killed 11 ESN members. We will be witnessing that in Yoruba land, with the moves being taken now by the governors as well as other political players in Yoruba land. It is a collective one. Traditional rulers and many of them are also keen into ensuring that this doesn't escalate beyond what it is now, but it is going to escalate more than this. In their efforts to try to curb and tame people from expressing themselves and demanding for the change in the status quo, which is a legit demand, right? In their effort to curb that and tame and crush that, they're going to make a lot of mistakes. They're going to turn against their people. The entire cookie will crumble. And that is where the reality will set in. So thank you very much once again for joining me. I'll be taking this bit by bit as time permits. And I will be responding and reacting to some of your own comments and contributions as well. And I will share a few other content with you to back up some of my presentations on this broadcast today. Okay, so you can relax. Again, just before we settle in, by the way, you can quickly do this. Click on that subscribe button, click on that thumb up button, or even thumb down button. Engage with this video to show that I am not being watched by robots. Let's do that. If you haven't really subscribed on Maiyegun's Diary before now, let's do it in a minute, just about 10 seconds it will take. Thank you. So it came to us this afternoon as well that Maiyegun Tifnumbu gave 50 million naira donation to the traders, market, traders who are victims of a fire, the market fire in Katsina State. Katsina is where Bukwari comes from. Meanwhile, yesterday, the office of Bokwari in Abuja, they released a statement that they are going to be attending, is it the 12th, Tinubu's colloquium gathering for his birthday, you remember? So I'm going to tell you a few stories around that tonight. It's good I share that with you so that some of you will understand that when we kind of tell you, when we kind of tell you what will be the end result, end result of this whole madness, and then the consequences, which I have been saying for a long time, that when they conspire, collude, and do all these shady arrangements, shady deals in the name of One Nigeria, without considering the consequences of those arrangements, that led us to where we are today, the journey that started in 2014. I'll come back to that. However, yesterday, the presidency, yes, they released a statement and they said, oh, Bokwari is going to virtually appear or attend Tinubu's colloquium birthday celebration, just to show that they are still friends, they are still paddy, they are still this and that, and whatever arrangement they have, which is making the Southwest Pomo boys, the Lagos Abobakus, the Oshogbo Alimajiris, jumping up and down and ready to go up in arms with anyone calling for Oduduwa Republic instead of calling for Tinubu's presidency in 2023. The reason why they are all looking at that is, well, they needed something, a validation, and they are getting that validation. They got one yesterday from Abuja. Bokwari is going to attend. It won't be the first time they will do that on them, but unfortunately, it won't also be the last time. So today, Tifnumbu announced that he's giving 50 million naira to the traders who are the victims of fire hazard in their market in Katsina. Okay. Meanwhile, the same Tifnumbu, who is from that same Lagos state, was alive when the people of Abule Ado, you remember last year when they are still here to tell us what happened in Abule Ado, that bomb blast in Abule Ado. Remember that killed some people, and then destroyed so many properties, shattered so many buildings beyond anything that people have to relocate and abandon the entire site. The government of Lagos State, I don't know what they are doing for them right now. Tifnumbu didn't come out to say, oh, I'm going to support the victims who are actually going to suffer homelessness for this unexpected incident. No, he didn't even make any statement about it. The same Tifnumbu, if some of you have forgotten, I can remind you, okay? It was the same Tifnumbu who was the visiting chancellor to Lautech when Lautech was locked down for over a year because of industrial dispute between the government and the staff. Remember, Lautech was owned by Osun State and Oyo State government. So they were fighting. Who is not paying? Who is going to pay? Who is supposed to pay the salary? Meanwhile, that school, which happens to be Ladoke Akintola University of Technology in Ogbomoso. So that same school, which should be a legacy technological school, University of Technology in Yorubaland. Tifnumbu, a supposed Yoruba political leader, was the visiting chancellor to that place. For 1 year, APC was controlling Osun State. APC was controlling Oyo State, and they locked the school for over a year. No move was made. Destinies were shattered. Future were destroyed. And you will never know because nobody will ever ask. Right? Now, the same Tifnumbu, who also witnessed the Shasha incident where Yorubas who lost their lives and lost their properties, who are now, Sheyi Makinde said he's doing something for them, he's reopened the market. The same Tifnumbu, right, was never anywhere to be found when this happened. But from far away, Katsina, in order to prove one Nigeria, because it's what they do, right? To prove one Nigeria, they have to give something. Remember when Wike 2 traveled to Sokoto to go and give 50 million or so to the victims of fire incidents as well in Sokoto? Remember that? While the people of Eleme are suffering from the hands of the Fulani bandits who are destroying their little farmland, who are raping their women in Rivers State, Port Harcourt. Do you get that now? So they do that to build this one Nigeria of a thing, because the only way for them to keep is 500 million. God bless you, Jade Dolo Fox. So they will take their money, they will take the little remnant they share for them from the resources they take from them, the little peanut they share to them from Abuja, they still take that to buy validation from the north. And when you see a southern politician talking about United Nigeria, look very closely, okay? You will see why he's asking for that one Nigeria, because that is what pays his bill. That's what gives him the validation of the status he's enjoying. And if you should tell him to stay otherwise, he will lose that privilege. And it is something that none of them want to lose, because those you see there today, the criminals you see around today in southern Nigeria ruling over the people there, right? Governors and the rest of them. The only thing that gives them that privilege is because they continue to hold back. And if they should, by any means, begin to side with their people that they deserve better, they will lose that peanut they are giving to them. And the only way to also keep that is they can keep going to the northern Nigeria to go and buy validation. But let me tell you the history of buying validation and the consequences of buying validation, which has now led us to this, to this precipice of total breakup. In 2014, what they told us was Goodluck Jonathan was using the Boko Haram to reduce the population of the north, to destroy the north, to kill the northern people. This narrative is what the likes of Sheikh Gumi, Malam Gumi, Kaduna Osama bin Laden, the National Commissioner for Banditry and Ransom Payments, Sheikh Gumi. The journey started in 2014. They said, oh, they were using Boko Haram to decimate the north. Oh, they were using Boko Haram to kill the northerners. Therefore, we need a northerner, a very strong one, to become the president and protect the north. And the southern criminals from Tifnumbu, they said, oh, if nothing is done, Nigeria is going to break up. Do you get that now? Oh, Nigeria is going to break up. If Jonathan should continue, Nigeria will break up, because Jonathan could not protect Nigerians, because terrorists from outside Nigeria are now occupying territorial lands in Nigeria, and Goodluck Jonathan couldn't. Therefore, Nigeria is going to break up. Hey, Nigeria is going to break up. Or else Nigeria is going to break up. They were shouting, break up, break up, break up, break up, until they brought in a lifeless, breathing, demented mannequin, Bokwari, to come and be that strong force. And in order to make it real, Tifnumbu, the master strategist, the man that played the long game, the one that is leading, the one-eye man that is leading the blind Buhari Diderins in other part of Nigeria, the master strategist, they brought in a lifeless, a jobless, unproductive breeding mannequin to come and revive an economy destroyed by them, to come and stop criminality sponsored by them, and at the same time to come and protect the people that they are profiting from by them. So they brought him in. But they also had their own calculation too. It wasn't about protecting Nigerians. It wasn't about protecting Nigeria. It wasn't about keeping Nigeria one. It was about keeping their estate, their feeding bottle one. And in fact, having the upper hand. But he miscalculated. You all know the story. Tifnumbu and gang sold the bobo to the Yorubas, that if Yorubas are to be relevant in Nigeria, Yorubas have to play a central game. They call it the game at the center. They are selling that same bobo to the Igbos now. Igbo politicians who have been around milking, benefiting from the rotten Nigeria, continue to play like, oh, they were not part of it. Meanwhile, they are, yeah. They are selling that same bobo to the Igbos now. You need to play the center politics. You need to play at the center, or else you will never ever attain the greatness. What greatness? Yoruba served. Yoruba man was Nigeria president for 8 years. Today, half or more than half of Yorubas will leave Nigeria if they are given that option today, that can you choose between Nigeria and choose Oduduwa Republic, it will shock you. So 8 years of a Yoruba man being president of Nigeria did not bring any progress to Yorubaland. It did not improve our education. It did not improve our healthcare system. It did not improve our infrastructure. We are not enjoying any 24 hours electricity like anyone. As you all are complaining about insecurity, Yorubaland is not safe. Meanwhile, we had a president for 8 years. But we were safer before these criminals came in. We were managing, not physical attack like we have now, having to deal with today, okay, before these criminals came in. But in 2014, they sold the bobo of the center to the Yorubas. Tinubu wanted to be the vice president. Tinubu was looking to become the president someday and probably become the second messiah after Bokuwari. The plan then was, well, who knows? With what they know about Bokuwari, he was going to die anyway. Abi? So if he die, right, eventually he is going to take over, and probably can then perform the miracle, the magic that MKO Abiola couldn't perform. So they sold the bobo to Yorubas. We need that center. We have been relegated and blah, 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 blah. 6 years after that, our people have turned to refugees in another country. Today, that same Tifnumbu is now so despised. You may not know this. Tinubu is still a local champion. Okay? Nobody can take that away from him and his own army of, yes men. He is still a local champion that these guys don't trust. You may not completely, probably agree with me. I understand. It depends on where you are, and it depends on the information you have at hand. But I have a few to share with you, just to help your own curiosity. Why did I say Tifnumbu remain a local champion? He is a local champion that some of these guys believe that, he thought he's smarter. But they are smarter than him. In 2014, there was no Isa Funtua. There was no Maman Daura. There was no Abakiyari. There was no Malami. There was no all these funny names that are now powerful that Tifnumbu had to beg to please let Bokuwari give him some validation so that his own followers in Yorubaland can still see that he has connection with Tifnumbu, with Bokuwari. These guys were nowhere. Nobody saw them. It was Bokuwari and Tifnumbu and those who were also thinking they could benefit, the likes of Atifku, the likes of Sarakai, the Sarakonda, as some of the APC, Egbekegbe members who love to call him Sarakonda. They call him it's Anaconda, because Saraki and all of them became thorn in the flesh of APC, jihadist agenda, the first 4 years. As bad as that is, devil's advocates. Their plan was that they were going to hijack power. And once they hijack power, they were going to do whatever they would do with it. But they were strange bedfellows. Tifnumbu was aiming for the center. The Fulani oligarch who have been sponsoring terrorism in northern Nigeria for years, they were interested in power returning to the north. Tifnumbu was not really bothered. He was ready to partner with them. And that's what happened. He said, well, let's partner. Since this whole thing is stamped, okay, let the power return to the north. You can do 8 years if you want, but it will return back to the south and it comes back to me. As much as they continue to tell you that, no, that's not what happened. No, it didn't happen. But that's what happened. It became a bitter battle that finally tore them, turned them into complete shred today, that they are trying to still glue together and pretend that they are one, right? Tifnumbu wanted to be vice president. Saraki and co were like, no, you can never be vice president. They worked against it. They all put their resources together to push that Tifnumbu never becomes the vice president. That was how Ikene Shatabandu, fake Pastor Ruga Oshubade, became the running mate to Bokuwari. Meanwhile, all the cabal that you now hear of today, they were all hiding and watching Tifnumbu perform his magic, use his media to continue to what? To continue to sway the people onto the side of a dictator, a disgraced dictator, an uneducated dictator. a jihadist, divisive personality. They were watching him continue to pile up and package Bukwari, package, continue to give different promises and not promises. Yorubas were at the forefront because they were going to get vice presidency. They were going to be so close to becoming president again. Tinubu was going to win. Tinubu was going to be the master strategist. He is the genius of all time. He is the Albert Einstein of where's that place again? Iragbiji. So they bought it. They were ready to rig it. They were ready to manipulate anything as long as they were closer to becoming the vice presidency. Well, they got the vice presidency, right? But they didn't get anything so close to any power, not even any influence. When the opportunity presented itself, it burned Osunbade. You know the story. Tinubu was relegated. He ran away from Nigeria. He was brought back as a reconciliator to come and reconcile a divided, a disrupted, a destroyed APC who has destroyed Nigeria. He came back, he got a new validation, and Bukwari said, I am going to attend your birthday colloquium. Remember that. I am going to attend your birthday. So Bukwari attended his birthday, and immediately the Mugus, the Buharidins, the Buharidiots, the humbled slaves, the obedient fools, the sophisticated morons, yeah, they went to market, they went to the public, they were so happy. Yeah, all of you were saying that Tinubu is not this and that. We said, okay, watch. To cut the long story short, you know now that Meyetiala and even all this northern bloc, what they are now saying is we cannot trust these people. Do you know that the reason why they can't trust Tinubu is that they have entrenched themselves so well? The Fulani, the Fulani entrenchment in the system of Nigeria is almost complete. They have found out that they cannot leave the power to they don't trust the Southeast as well. You know them. They don't trust the Bukwari's government from the onset is not in any way, going to trust anybody from the Eastern Nigeria. You have seen their body language. You have seen what they have done to them over the years. You see what they are still doing to them today. Apart from the political exigencies, political profiteering, yeah, they will never, ever, in any way, feel comfortable in handing over, not what Nigeria has become today. And you know what I'm talking about. You may not agree with me, and I will understand that the reason why you don't. But here it is. They are saying we cannot trust Tinubu. According to them, they said Tinubu is desperate and is corrupt. I'm not making this up. You can go out there and check it out. Miyetiala came out and they said they believe that all of these gang up, they call it, all these gang up, all these reactions against Fulanis, the Fulani terrorists in Yoruba forest, that the reason why Yorubas are doing all of this is because Tinubu is desperate for 2023. That Tinubu is the one sponsoring people to say Fulani must leave. Do you understand that how deep the mistrust is, by the way? So that when the whole thing play out later, don't pretend that you don't know it's going to end up like that. Don't pretend that if Nigeria ended up in a civil war, it is not just because they have denied the people the opportunity to express themselves or listen to them so that they can actually address their grievances. They are also doing everything to suppress their own personal friendship agreement. Oh, if I do my own, you will do your own. That alone, you know, when they are doing their elections, it's like war. So if you have an agreement between yourselves in their political nonsense they do, and somebody want to shortchange you, the next thing is they will call the likes of MC Olueron, they will give them weapons, they will come after you. And all, you know what that means? That, oh, if you don't do what we want, if you don't give us what we agree to, or if you don't give us what we want, politically, it is normally war. They did it in Ekiti a few days ago. A common, a common by-election to fill in one vacant seat, House of Assembly seat. That is election conducted in just one local government area. They killed 3 people. Do you get that now? So normally, within themselves, they don't trust themselves because of what they have done to themselves. They rubbish Tinubu, but you know what? They believe that they are playing a long game, that they will have their own pound of flesh one day. Just like Bokwari waited for so long to become the tormentor in chief, the terrorist in chief of Nigeria today. He waited for 30 years. Somebody that was dead, embalmed, but because of the greedy people, you see, there's a saying, they say, na greed, they make a person go open up a dead secret. It's like you opening up a dead corpse because you are looking for, because your greed is looking for something, curiosity and all of that. But in this case, now greed, selfishness, self-centeredness, without considering the lives of millions of people that will be affected. Greed. They said, go and bring a jihadist, a dead jihadist, a almost dead jihadist. Go and bring him back. 30 years after they kicked Bokwari out of power. Meanwhile, the same Bokwari that was meant to have been spending his life in jail. You see, if you plan anything, let me break it down in case if it looks like I'm digressing a lot. It was greed of the Atiku, Sarakizo, new PDP they call themselves. Who else again? Tifnumbu, who else? And so many other Yoruba Obas who continue to sell the lies of one Nigeria to their people, and they are getting their own dollar in return. It was greed, yo. They were alive. They know who Bokwari was. They knew who he was. But because they thought they could get power, they thought he was going to die. Well, maybe in the long run, they miscalculated. Because some people believe that they thought Bokwari would die maybe a year or 2, so that Tifnumbu will become president. And the Sarakis were like, if Tifnumbu become president, Lagos, what they do to Lagos will be like a child's play to what they will do to Nigeria. And some of you will even be like, oh boy. So Saraki and co, they decided to intervene. Meanwhile, Saraki himself wanted to be president, but he wanted to wait for, Bokwari was meant to be the bait, that kind of bait you put in a hook when you want to catch a fish. So they wanted to use Bokwari as a sacrifice. They didn't know that they will all end up as the sacrificial goats. You know the story today. Anyway, okay, it was greed, though. They decided to go and exhume a dead tyrant. Do you get that now? In a democracy, somebody that overthrew democratically elected government in 1984. In 1985. They went back to him 30 years later. None of them saw themselves as qualified Democrat because they are all criminals. They needed a murder, jihadist criminal to lead them so that they can use him to intimidate anybody who believes that they are untouchable in power. Then they can use their own personality and money to buy the people they have already made poor. It was greed, yo. Saraki wanted, they was like, okay, maybe Bokwari just vamoose. So he himself will position himself to become president. But Tifnumbu wanted to position himself to become president. He gave himself position of national leader. So immediately they came to power. They told him, Baba, go shut up. There's no position like a national leader in APC. There's no position in APC constitution that is called national leader. There's nothing like that. That was the first time they said, hey, before then, as they were plotting that, okay, this is how we are going to form the government. You, Ikene Shatabandu, fake Pastor Ruga, you will be the vice president. You will control economy, all the contract, all the goodies. You know what to do. Yeah, okay, good. You, Baja, you will become speaker. As a speaker, there are some bills you are going to help us pass to promote some. You know what I mean? And then you know all this budget padding ahead. You have to be very smart because you know, yeah, okay, yes, sir, yes, sir. You will become. They were plotting. You will become minister. You are going to be minister of. They were plotting everything. Sadly, now all of them they get their own list of who to become who. Atiku get his own list because he came with his own team. Saraki get his own list. He came with his own team. He even went there with his own canary, Dinomelaye. So they agreed, bring them together. That's the story. It was the agreed, not the love of the country, not the love of the people. It was the agreed. They said, let us go and bring this guy back. After so many things they said about him. Now, when they brought him, they didn't know that when they were exhuming the dead tyrant, when they were bringing Bokwari, they were also bringing the dead Abacha. The last time Bokwari enjoyed government money so good, so well was during Abacha time. It was the time Aisha became a damsel. Aisha started living the life of her life in London, raised her children and all of that. From a Malam, Bokwari that had 150 cows in 1985, 150 cows in 1995, 150 cows in 2005, 150 cows in 2015. There are maybe 10,000 cows now in 2020. Business, they boom. So when they drag Bokwari out of retirement or out of, what do you call it? They didn't know that they were dragging all the Abacha henchmen. That was where the Kaaba came into play. That was how, meanwhile, Saraki said they do his own thing. So when Bokwari came in, Oshibade was supposed to be running the government. Tifnumbu was supposed to be the puppeteer who is going to be holding the hand of the puppet. So Pastor Ruga is meant to be the puppet. Tifnumbu is meant to be the puppeteer. So when they were campaigning, they said Bokwari will be fighting the Boko Haram physically. Pastor Ruga will be fighting Boko Haram spiritually. Bokwari will be fighting to defend Nigeria. Pastor Ruga will be fighting to defend the economy of Nigeria. Do you get that now? That was how they shared the job. But that was not how it all went down. You know what happened? Immediately they gained power. They wanted to do a meeting. They had a meeting. A meeting of, they call it a meeting of national caucus, blah, blah, blah meeting. The new president, all the elected National Assembly members, they were to meet at the Yaradua Center in Abuja in 2015. So at that meeting, the president is going to talk to her. You know, it's like the victory mood. I told you, they were strange bedfellows. They were not friends. They didn't come together because of Nigeria. They didn't come together because of Nigerian people. They came together to take power and see what they can do with it. But what they didn't know was that there will be consequences of that action. And me, Maiyegun, I am becoming more important to you today because my job is to let you know that I saw that there will be consequences. And that consequences is catching up with us today. Decisions of yesterday that you are asking yourself today that, how did we get here? How did Nigeria become a country where everybody wants to break up like this? Why did everybody blah, blah, you know what I mean? A decision of 2014, 2015 brought everybody to this state. And it's going to get worse because the same people who brought you to this stage, they didn't believe they have done anything wrong. They didn't even know that something was wrong or anything is wrong. They are still doing it more. And I am here again to tell you that I will be here to remind you when that consequences also happens. Let's continue. They didn't know. They were strange bedfellows, right? They drag everybody from the east, from the west, from the south, from the north, they drag them together to bring about a dead tyrant. But nobody knew that they were bringing in Issa Funtua, Maman Daura, Abba Kyari, who later became your de facto president, the person that was ruling the country. And since Abba Kyari died, since the death of Abba Kyari, have you not noticed the slide, the change in how the country has been going since then? Eh? I was reading it earlier today that they said Bokwari's driver gave him a document to sign, a multi-million naira contract. Bokwari doesn't read. He can't read. Amechi told us that he doesn't read. Do you get that now? But they brought him in, and the people who are piloting things, they did a lot. They started with the military, right? Then they move on to all the other security, security apparatuses in the country. They broke them into what they are today, the Fulani lined security agencies who can no longer detect crime before they happen. Now, the security agencies are coming to us to tell us that invaders from Chad, from Niger, from Mali, from Libya are those who are killing and kidnapping Nigerians in Nigeria. And we ask them, what happened to your job? How come many of you still have your job? The reason why they will not detect a crime that will save anyone is because the perpetrators of those crimes are Fulani jihadists, Fulani terrorists. They have been established. We have seen videos, we have seen meetings, we have seen advocacies of different people, personalities, asking us to give amnesty to these Fulani terrorists. They are championing their causes and telling us that they are victims too. So do not tell me that I should not call them Fulani terrorists, because that's who they are. And the reason why the government of Nigeria cannot stop them is because the people that are supposed to stop them, they are the people who are also Fulanis. The controllers, the commanders, the people who give the order and all of that, they are Fulani. So when they give the order, and the order doesn't say they should curb the influx of armed terrorists into into Nigeria, then what does that tell you? It tells you that, well, your government is a government of terrorists, and that's not it. So they are bringing back something again. When the government of Nigeria denies something, my friends, just know that it is true, okay? I was reading it today, where the presidency, uncannily, very, very usual, I mean, funny, I would say, they came out today to say, if anyone is thinking that we have problem with Tifnumbu, no, we don't have any problem with Tifnumbu. It is just your own imagination. That Tifnumbu is no longer coming to the villa all the time. You should all know that that's not because we have any problem with him. Who cares if you have any problem with him or not? It's so obvious that he's already in soup. We're just waiting for the time you're going to serve him and feed on him. And then I can come back and tell you that, what's going to be your reaction? Are you angry? Would you be angry when they come back to tear him down? All right? So they came out, they said, oh, we don't have any problem with him. It is just, your imagine. In fact, the president of the country is going to attend his birthday. Really? That's amazing. Attend his birthday. Zoom birthday. Well, that's fine. So Tifnumbu continue to buy validation. Okay? And after this whole madness, you ask yourself, they destroy, yeah, they did. They destroyed the judicial system in Nigeria by filling all the courts, filling the courts with the same Janjaweed Fulani inclined judges that will read the law and they will turn it upside down. Judges that will turn civil cases into treasonable offenses. And the same judges are sitting in the court, and you're not asking yourself, how does that even make sense? How does that even happen? How can that happen? They've now given them what is called the workbook, a workbook that will never give you justice. When the military shot and kill people on the street, they have, no court can summon them. Do you get that? When the police shot and kill citizens on the street, no court is going to summon them. Rather, the same court will convict the victims and send them to perpetual incarceration. People are being detained by courts in Nigeria for criticizing Buhari on social media. What does that tell you? So they managed to do all of that. And when you deny justice everywhere, you deny protection, you deny security, then you deny justice. People are seeing you with your everyday brazen corruption. They can't talk about it or they will go to jail. What does that mean? It means that your judicial system has been destroyed. You are supposed to be able to walk to court and say, well, I did it. What does the law say? The law should be able to say what your punishment should be if you abuse the president. Should you even have any law that punishes you for abusing the president or abusing any politician? But in Nigeria, there is no law, by the way, but there are judges that are ready to send you to jail 1 year, 2 years on trial. What does that tell you? It tells you that in 6 years, they have further destroyed whatever is left of that country. Okay? Now, let's come back to the issue of trust. As much as Tifnumbu and co are continue to pander to they continue their pandering to the whim and caprices of their northern master for whatever they are promised, whatever they will give them. But for 6 years in Yorubaland, they say Saturday to Bamada, Sunday, Saturday to Bamada, Friday, Latimamo. That is a Saturday that is going to be a very, very good one. You will start seeing the sign from from Friday night. Like you begin to feel it like, oh man, tomorrow is going to be amazing. You get what I mean? So if the people they sat together with, for whatever, even in their own greed and selfishness, the people they sat together with, that they were going to make Yorubaland safe. They are going to make Yorubaland prosperous. They're going to make Yoruba people safe. They're going to make Yorubaland great. 6 years ago, if they needed a lot of time to make things happen by their own standard or their own explanation, for 6 years, can they tell us that they have the sign that all the agreements, all the whatever they said they agreed on that brought about Buhari to become the killer-in-chief of that country today? Can the likes of Tifnumbu tell themselves the truth that 2 years, the remaining 2 years, is not enough for them to say, oh, maybe they will still convince us? It is still pretty much about their greed. Greed is blinding them. But let us remind them, there are consequences. People are dying. People are turning to refugees. People are losing their homes. People are losing their lives. People are losing their families. People are losing their mentality. Their sanity too. What about mental health? What about people who have become victims of all of these killings? Tifnumbu has no ball to speak about it. And then ask yourself, courts destroyed, security system destroyed, the economy ruined, corruption is at the worst level ever seen, people are not safe. Then you ask yourself, which country is Tinubu coming to lead, by the way? Is Tinubu coming to put the round peg in the round hole? Because by doing so, he is likely going to sack 90% of those who have been put in different positions simply because they are Fulanis, or simply because they are from the north, or simply because they are loyal to Buhari. Is Tinubu coming there to come and change them? And what makes Tinubu different, by the way, from Buhari and what APC is doing to all of you today? Are you safe in Lagos? Are you actually safe in Lagos? Use the context of your own Lagos. Are you actually prosperous in Lagos? Are you developing in Lagos? Do you have accountability of your own tax money in Lagos? Use your own Lagos as a context. Use it as a parameter, because that's what they always do. They will tell you Lagos is better. So what is he going to do? Their thugs will stop representing people. 90% of those who are your representatives from Lagos State in different political offices, they are either the long-trained political thug of Tifnumbu, thugs who can read and write. thugs who can speak grammar, criminals, crooks who can disguise their real identity, because over time you can see it. The legacy of Lagos State is what? Agbero legacy. People collecting money, people taxing people for the work they have not done, people claiming entitlement from something they didn't deserve, but they believe that they do. Is that not what the mentality is in Lagos? Taking from you, stealing from you, and then possibly beating you up for asking them why are they taking from you. Is that not what they do in Lagos? Where is the round peg in round hole? The Speaker of Lagos State, the Agbero Speaker, is a thief. So what is it going to be? If Bokwari is a tribal bigot, or an ethnic jingoist, an Islamic fundamentalist, what makes Tifnumbu different? And who are the disciples of Tifnumbu? Do you want to leave Lagos and go to other parts of Yorubaland? These are the people that are supposed to be those inspired by Tifnumbu leadership. So can you give me those leadership in Yorubaland? Today, Katsina State, where Bokwari comes from, the people from Katsina State, they are suffering from the hands of, they are suffering in the hands of the bandits. Bandits kidnapping them, kidnapping their children, raping their women, destroying their farms, sending them into refugee camps, and even sending them outside the country as refugees. Some of them are now refugees in Cameroon, refugees in Mali, refugees in Chad, refugees in Nigeria Republic. That's where Bokwari comes from. That's the leadership. A leadership where their governors are ransom payers, those who rather celebrate mass wedding for jobless citizens, untrained, uneducated citizens, no economic power, no nothing. But they will celebrate mass wedding, celebrate empowering women, widow, empowering them with a goat, because their own mentality says the goat will what? The goat will produce more children, and they can sell the children to fuel themselves. The mentality. Is that not the same mentality that Pastor Ruga took to Abuja? Mentality of what is different between Buhari and Tifnumbu? What? That Tifnumbu can speak grammar, slow grammar, and Bokwari cannot speak one. But what is the difference between Tifnumbu and Bokwari? Their leadership style. Who are they influencing? Pastor Ruga Ikene Shatabandu, a professor of law, former Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice in Lagos State, somebody who was supposed to be a law professor, an elite educated person. He went to Abuja, Vice President of Nigeria, and they were looking into how to take 20 million people out of poverty, 100 million people out of poverty. And the best created idea from this professor of law, who came from Yorubaland, who came from the school of Tifnumbu, is to start giving 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira to traders to start businesses so that they can lift people out of poverty. Professor of law from Lagos State, professor of law from Ikene Shatabandu. So what is the difference between Bokwari and Tifnumbu? For those of you that they have brainwashed enough to think there's actually any difference. What difference? That you can give 30,000 naira, empower money to educated young people in a country where your exchange rate, $1 to 1 naira, is 480 naira to $1. And therefore, your 30,000 naira is even less than $70. Now, you are giving $70, $80 to graduates every month to become creative. Your minimum wage, your national minimum wage is 30,000 naira before tax. After tax, you collect 23,000 naira if they ever pay you. What is 23,000 naira in that same place? But they want to lift 100 million people out of poverty. And the most creative idea to lift 100 million people out of poverty was to give them trader money, to give them market money, to give them empower, to give them this, and to give them more free money, because there is no idea to create wealth. So what are you talking about? All of this brings about more poverty. More poverty brings more crime. More crime brings more calamity, anarchy, lawlessness, breakdown of law and order. And that is exactly what Nigeria is witnessing. So what makes you think Tinubu is different? So what makes you think the next 2 years is anything that's going to change anything that would then give you Tinubu as your president, as Yoruba president? And what would that change is the question. Is Tinubu coming to change all these incompetent criminals from the security agents to the judiciary and then to all these ministries? Is that what he's coming to change? Can they at least try to change that from Lagos State first? Change that in Yorubaland first. So if they are telling you that Tinubu is better than Buhari, how? That you have an economy that is being ruled and controlled by the people with guns. In Nigeria, those with guns are those the government are listening to. In Yorubaland, it is those with guns that the politicians listen to. When you go to Lagos State, they have their own army. They call it legal army, by the way, legal army. The local agberos, the local thugs who have weapons, they can shut down, they have been doing it, they can shut down the entire state or shut down a part of the state for hours or even for days, simply because they are having clashes. Everybody will have to wait. Government have to wait. Police have to wait. The military have to wait until they are ready to talk. Then the politician would then, the politician would then come in and say, okay, we have managed to give peace. We have brokered peace. The local terrorist in Lagos State is the result of the leadership of Tinubu. How do you think that looks outside? When Agbero, who doesn't do any job, no nothing, but they have to collect money from the drivers, collect money from shop owners, collect money even from the carriers. Alabaru, people who are doing carrying people's load inside markets. Agberos will collect money from them, and that is the life of Lagos State. No matter how much you pretend to say you come from a mega city, let's tell ourselves the truth. You came from the mega slum. Lagos State is a mega slum. Your pride is that you have tax collectors who are not legally back to collect your taxes, but in your mind of the likes of Tinubu, it is legal for MC Olueran and co to continue to make millions from you, from the people, unaccounted for, as long as they are loyal to the people who gave them that political backing. Who is that person? Tinubu. Is that not the legacy? When they shoot and kill themselves in Lagos State, they bury the case, they own the courts. Abi? Now, what is the difference between that and Bokuwari and the people who are also offering amnesty to terrorists? For those who are giving money to bandits, for those who are telling you that bandits deserve this and that, is what MC Olueran and so many other Talos Kibo, tablets. I want to remember some few names, even in Ibadan, and many of them who are working, taxing you every day under the protection of the politicians because they are useful to them every election to stop you from challenging them or changing them, right? So what is the difference between Bokuwari and those who are paying bandits and those of your politicians who are paying terrorists, local terrorists in Yorubaland? So what I'm saying here is that their decisions, their selfishness, their greed, and every other thing they have been managing to get away with for so long, they are just like kicking the can down the road. You will always meet it ahead. There will be consequences. And part of the consequences we have today is that Yorubas are now refugees in another country. Yorubas are running away from their villages. Yorubas are becoming victims in their own land, and nobody is listening to them. People are telling them that the way to react. Their politicians are continuing to underplay it. But I'm saying it to you that nobody will even tell you to fight. Instinctively, right? When you feel like you come under threat, you are going to try and fight back. And today, we have a Sunday Igboho, and Nigerian army is telling us that we are coming for you. If you come for Sunday Igboho, you will get the backlashes. The Yoruba politicians who are going to open the door for Nigerian army to come in, as they are threatening now. They did it yesterday. They have killed innocent people Innocent people, all of you know that if Nigerian army engaged ESN, with the ESN we know, Nigerian army will be, Nigerian police, all of them will be recording, even if they are going to kill them, Nigerian army, Nigerian police, they will also be carrying the dead bodies of their own colleagues too. Nigerian army and Nigerian police, they went to Abia, they were killing innocent people, and that's what they are claiming as victory now. So the Yoruba governors, the Yoruba political leaders, they have concluded plan. The Yoruba traditional leaders who are also in this plot, they have concluded plan to unleash this same terror on Yoruba land. They are going to they are already doing it, gaslighting Sunday Igboho. I'm talking about the plot that some of you are going to come back here to say, this is war, this is this. I know it's going to be war. People are going to be killed. But can't we just prevent that? My effort is not that I want to see that happen. I don't want to see them kill anyone in Yorubaland simply because they are asking for Oduduwa Republic. We have seen them, same way I've never been happy, speaking up all the time with what they are doing to our Biafran brothers and sisters. We continue to speak up. We continue to condemn that. We continue to ask for justice. And we continue to tell them that one day you will push them to push back. When you push the Biafrans to push back, it's never going to end well. Consequences of this is what we all dread. We dread. I dread this day that they will do the same thing in Yorubaland. But you now say, if I am aware of what they will do, and I know they will do it, it's just a matter of time. They are already in Yorubaland. They have all their different barracks in Yorubaland. They will call all their divisions to move in and start the killings, the massacring and all of that. But again, I don't want to see that happen. But if that happens, of course, it's going to be war. People are going to be killed. People are really going to be hurt. Yes, people are going to be hurt. And if those who claim to love Yorubaland and represent Yorubaland and speak for Yoruba people, if they truly love the Yorubaland they say they love, at this point, they will listen to the people. They will take the message up. They will take it up as a collective message, right? And take it to Abuja and say, don't come and kill our people. If you kill them, we will not be able to control what will happen. No? And it's true, they will not be able to control what will happen. So I was talking about, and someone said, Maiyegun, why are you always talking about arrest? I was like, I am so sorry that I am responsible for what I say, okay? But I'm not really responsible for how the brain of some people will actually process what I say, okay? That we know is not new. It's not that we believe that they have to do it. Asking or talking about their plan and plot to either kill, arrest, or kidnap Sunday Igboho and many, many other Yoruba Oduduwa Republic campaigners, this is not something new, except if you are living in denial. So it's always a plan in process. It's always a plan in progress. But when you continue to tell them that there will be consequences if this is done, maybe you can avert the day of doom. But that I'm talking about it is not that, do you want him to be arrested? Baba, auntie, that you can't process everything I say. It's not my own fault. You are responsible for how you process what I say. I am responsible for every word I say. I am responsible. That's why I said, if I say something that offends you, don't take it personally, okay? And if you feel really, really offended, you can even sue me. Do you know I have a name now that you can take to court, in any court all over the world? Don't threaten me. Don't do anything. Don't be an ass. Don't be an idiot, right? Just take me up. I live in a country where you can actually serve me a court, a court case, right? But apart from that, because I am responsible, I'm responsible for everything I say under the law, okay? But I am not responsible for how you process it. And I don't think I will be able to actually break things down like to a 1-year-old or 2-year-old kid, to everyone. I've got smarter people here, but I do read comments like that where people are like, are you asking them to arrest him? Maiyegun, where was your position? I'm like, Baba, if you get mental issue that can't process information very well, I am not going to be responsible for that. Okay? We are calling on them that they should avert anything that is going to lead to to a further escalation of this insecurity issue. It has been established that our people have been attacked. Our people are still being attacked up to this day. And then it has also been established that Nigerian police and Nigerian security agents are also culpable. They've colluded with them because they have been unable to tame them or stop all these attacks. Since they have been unable to, people have the right to protect themselves. And they also have the right, since they have identified the criminals who are perpetrating these crimes, they have the right to call them out and go after them. So if you then now turn that into a killing spree, like you are doing currently in Biafra land, then people will react. And if people say it's going to be war, who am I to say it's not going to be war? If you come under attack from Fulani terrorists, you can't fight back. When you try to fight back, the military come for you. Then nobody can say where this is going to end. So they said they killed 11. Samuel Adenuga, by the way, thank you. I found your super sticker there. Well appreciated. Okay, thank you very much. You have a country that is being ruled by liars, complete fraudsters, manipulators, dishonest people, totally dishonest people. Okay, and if you think dishonest people rule, the politicians are dishonest people all over the world, you are wrong. Because yes, politicians can be a sort of dishonest to some extent when it comes to personal gain. But when their national interest comes to play, right? Every politician knows that if you are found to be working against the interest of your country for your own selfish or personal gain, you are committing a treason against that country. Do you get that now? So politicians in Nigeria, they have become so detached from the reality that they continue to push the lies, the narratives of lies, for whatever it's actually meant to achieve, which I don't have a clue about. We know the ESN, and we know why ESN is existing in Eastern Nigeria today. They are existing simply because they have faced police brutality. They have faced the unjust, racial and tribal profiling from the agents of government of Nigeria, past and present. Mostly this present government. They have been persecuted. They have been publicly, massacred, openly killed, shot at. They have been openly humiliated. And therefore, you should know that when they finally decided to start the ESN, Eastern Security Network, right? It was their own way of saying we will no longer be pushed about. We will no longer play the victim card. So if the Nigerian government are actually looking after them, looking for them in Abia, and eventually they engage them and they kill them, by now, we would probably have seen dead policemen, dead soldiers too. I'm not going to say they won't kill the ESN members, but that won't happen in the city or in towns, in the communities of Abia. It will happen in the forest. That is where the ESN stays. ESN, from how we know they operate, they don't come to town except when they are responding to an amber or emergency SOS call, like the one that happened in Olu, when the Nigerian army, in fact, they even sent, you remember when they sent the guy they called the super cop, Abba Kyari, when they said the one that is always the one that always going to the forest and arrest notorious kidnapper, notorious this and that. So he's a criminal, by the way, for those who know his story. But they sent him to Imo State to help them fish out the ESN members. He spent 2 weeks there. The Imo State governor, Opus Odima, they call him Supreme Court governor. Okay. Opus Uzodingba. Please, I want you to tell me the meaning of is it called Uzodingba? Some people call him Uzodima, but some are now calling him Uzodingba. Can you tell me if I pronounce that right? Opus Odima, the Supreme Court governor, declared ESN IPOB members terrorists immediately he came to power. He had the balls to push it last year by bringing in, I know it's Uzodima, but they call him Uzodingba. I want to know the meaning of that. Is it there's a reason? It's like also calling Tinumbu Tifnumbu. So I know my Biafran brothers call him either Uzodinjo. Is it Uzodinjo or Uzodingba? No, you are not getting it. the people who I want to respond are not responding yet. Okay, I know that his name is Uzodinma, Uzodinma, but they call him something like Uzodinjo or Uzodingba or something like that. I want to know the meaning. Tell me the meaning. So they brought this guy. This guy spent 2 weeks. He left. He couldn't find any ESN. He couldn't see them anywhere. He was roaming the forest. They were watching him on CCTV camera. These guys, IPOB member, these guys, they implanted CCTV camera inside forest. And they will be watching Nigerian soldiers, Nigerian police in the forest. They'll be watching them like this. If we want to kill you now, we'll just kill you. Bad road. Okay, thank you. So it is Uzodinjo. Uzodinjo is a bad road. Thank you. I'll remember that. So I'll put that as part of the name now. Now the IPOB member named him that. The road is bad or bad road. Okay. So Uzodinjo brought in Abba Kyari Super Cup. And for 2 weeks, they didn't find any ESN. 2 weeks. So then the next thing, they brought in the military. As usual, they started killing civilians, arresting civilians, assaulting people on the street, assaulting and harassing them for like 2 days. You know what happened? The ESN just received Amber call, alert, SOS call. Baba, for 2 days, they engaged the Nigerian army, Nigerian soldiers in Olu. You know the story now. Last, so Nigerian army withdrew. But they didn't just go away. The people they kidnapped for that 4 days, they now took them away and started prosecuting them as ESN, as IPOB member on the order of Uzodinjo. But they did not kill one single ESN member. That was a fight that lasted for 4 days. All of a sudden, Nigerian army, Nigeria, they released the news. They said they engaged ESN, IPOB ESN in a gun battle because they were joint operation of military, police, and all of them. They have been able to find the ESN in Abia, and they have killed 11 of them. Liars, liars, pants on fire. Liars, liars, pants on fire. Same way they have been killing terrorists, yet they have been killing and still kidnapping people. Lie.
We work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt.
I bring you a message of hope.
We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
Do you get that? So I've seen the news. It's not a major news, but I'm going to say that they have killed innocent people. They have, as usual, they have killed innocent people under the cover of the night. And they are giving themselves, they are pinning medal on themselves, giving themselves medals. We have killed ESN. It is also part of the cover-up that is bringing about this further division of Nigeria. So if you are asking yourself, is it that we should break up? If we break up is the solution. It is the solution to save lives. Don't you get it? You want to save people's lives? You need to begin to ask, because you need to begin to ask for the total breakup of that country to save people's lives. The more you keep Nigeria together, the more you are giving the politicians, the criminals from everywhere, Igboland, Yorubaland, Hausaland, everywhere, you are giving them the validation they need to continue to kill, because they need to kill to maintain that one Nigeria. And we're asking that we don't need to kill to break up that one Nigeria. They kill innocent people to make up a story so that they can pretend to be doing something, to cop something. Today, in the eastern Nigeria, we now have the people called unknown gunmen. Do you know what that simply means? Unknown gunmen are people who have now been identified as those who have had their own family members killed extrajudiciously by the Nigerian security forces and covered up by the Nigerian judicial system, where they never got justice. And they were seeing and watching the criminals who killed their family members, who disabled their family members, who has turned them into wounded animals. You have so many wounded Nigerians who have turned to wounded animals. And let me tell you something, you have never seen the last of them. So in the eastern part of Nigeria right now, we now have young, old people who have now been identified as unknown gunmen who are now killing security. If you are a security official in the eastern part of Nigeria right now, whether you are a member of a DSSO, whether you are a police officer, whether you are a military man, you are a prison officer, correctional facility officer, you know what I mean? Unknown gunmen can come for you anytime. These are the people coming from the society that has reeking and raging from a needed healing that Nigeria will not give. Nigeria continue to give sorrow. Nigeria continue to give heartbreaks. Nigeria continue to kill you. And when that happens, right, those who survive those who are surviving the brutality, they are never going to grow up loving Nigeria. Do you really think they're going to grow up or they're going to grow fond of Nigeria and love Nigeria? Of course not. Now, if they start this in Yorubaland, as they have unknown soldiers, you know what they say? Oh, unknown soldiers killed them. Who are those who killed the Shiites, the Zazaki supporters in Abuja? Unknown soldiers. Who are those who killed the women who were protesting in Taraba and Kaduna over the increasing Fulani attacks and kidnappings, and women protesting in Benue? Who are the soldiers who were shooting at them and shooting and killing them? Who? Unknown soldiers. Oh, really? Okay. Who are those who shot and killed people at Obigbo in Rivers State? Because they were looking for IPOB members, or they were suspected to be IPOB members. They were shot and killed. Women were kidnapped and raped, took away by the security officials. Who were those who did that? Unknown soldiers. Oh, really? Who are those who shot and killed, the protesters at Lekki Toll Gate in Lagos State? Who shot and killed over 80 people and covered that up? Who are those who did that? Unknown soldiers. Really? Unknown soldiers. Now, in the east, who are those who shot and killed the Biafrans who are praying for the repose of the souls of their lost patriots in the hands of Nigerian criminals in 2016? Who killed and who shot and killed them? Innocent children. Who? Unknown soldiers, unknown police. Really? Now, in the eastern part of Nigeria, they now have unknown gunmen killing unknown police, unknown soldiers, unknown prison officials, and unknown. And if you want to look at another way, why this is what it is, maybe I should share this with you. Just a moment. It's a refresher.
It's the credo of our republic. It says unity and faith, peace and progress. The truth is, whatever a man sows, the same he will reap. And that goes for a family, that goes for a tribe, that goes for a nation, and that goes for a multinational republic such as Nigeria. When a nation or republic cannot keep faith with justice and with the truth, it will never achieve unity. It will never achieve peace, and it will never achieve progress. Mr. President, sir, one of us quoted from this constitution and went ahead to make prescription for how to move forward. I dare to tell this nation today that this is the problem. This constitution can never give us progress. This constitution can never give us peace. This constitution can never give us unity. And unfortunately, most of us in this National Assembly, we don't have the spine to face what we need to give this republic to have peace and progress. What do I mean? This constitution has 68 items. 68 on the exclusive list. This constitution has only 12 on the concurrent list. And those 12 are written so nebulously, so fraudulently, that you know that the intention is to even undermine those concurrent lists.
And that's why you have to break up Nigeria if they will not talk about that, if they don't want to have that conversation, okay? The injustice is spreading, and I pity those who are still believing in that one Nigeria this, one Nigeria that, okay? The one Nigeria you believe in is not the same one Nigeria that these criminals believes in. You may be having a different one in your head, but, well, there are some people who believe that they are no longer going to listen to the politicians. They're going to push ahead, right? Since those who are supposed to speak up, starting with those who claim to be the tribal champions, who speak for their people, who enjoy the privilege of being called the leaders of this tribe, of that tribe. So they will be, they will be discarded with, okay? The journey to get them discarded with that they will no longer, they will no longer speak for anyone. They are not speaking for anyone. They've never really been speaking for anyone until we get to prove that. It's our job to prove that they've never been speaking to anyone, okay? But we are also going to say this in a very, very clear, unequivocal, tone. If they make any attempt to militarize Yorubaland, right, there will be some backlashes. There will be consequences. We know that already the fate of the Yorubas have been, our fate, it's been sealed by the greedy, criminal, political class, right? But we just want to say it and sound it very clear that we know the danger we are being pushed into. It is either they are ready to defend what gives them that privilege that makes them who they claim to be for now, or they will wait and be consumed by the consequences of the action, like what they started in 2014. We will complete it for them, okay? We will not watch them militarize Yorubaland without consequences. That one thing is certain. We know that they are not going to be coming to Yorubaland to arrest our people or assault and brutalize them without the permission of the political class in Yorubaland. We know this, and we are very strongly sure about this. So we are calling on them. If you still have that last button you need to push, and that last button is that tell Atahiru, or whatever it's called, the new chief of army staff in Nigeria, that he can give that order, okay, but it will not be what they bargain it to be. And let me also add this. We know that whatever they are promising them as the compensation for keeping the Yorubas still part of Nigeria, that promise is broken already. Because number one, they believe that with the stronger attitude of Yorubas to this insecurity problem, to this Fulani herdsmen invasion and all of that, they can sense it, they can see that. Immediately they leave that power and they don't have anybody in that position to protect them. It is either they will just let a military man take over so that they can have a Fulani man as your military president and he can give a protection to these marauding invaders, because they know that, and they fear it, that once Bokwari is no longer there and they can no longer use his name, once they don't have the command and everything anymore, whoever comes in will likely want to change all of these people. All right, change all the security, change everything, begin to push back, or it will just have to pretend that nothing is wrong and continue to watch his own people killed and massacred, maimed, everywhere destroyed, while he will just have to blame whoever is handing over to him. All of these things makes the future bleak. It's not clear. Therefore, you as a Yoruba man, you must not buy into the idea of a Yoruba presidency. A Yoruba presidency is just like you buying another meal ticket for Tifnumbu and Co. to pay for their holidays, pay for their their children's school fees, pay for their medical bills, buy them more private jets, give them latest automobiles, give them all what money can buy while they watch you die. Because they can't do anything. It will require any new president in Nigeria to start with, to any new president in that country to start first with a new constitution, call for a new constitution where people have to discuss if they still want to be part of that country or not. Whoever discusses that means that that person is going to be asking for the autonomous and the what do you call it, the monopolistic attitude or the monopolistic tendencies of these northern criminals, right? You are going to challenge that. Changing Nigeria constitution means that Dangote will not have any monopoly anywhere. It will never have such monopoly. And then all this quota system filling up important positions where dumb idiots are there making decisions that are vital to the lives of millions of people, but they don't have a clue. They don't even know the consequences of their decisions. So all of this will be gone. And the privilege of the northern privilege, blah, 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 will be gone as well. Now, do you really think they will give that away? Do you really think they will give that power to somebody that is going to come in and weed out all these incompetent idiots in different parts of government agencies, change them, and then bring about a real governance? You know, that's a tall dream. So they would never agree to that. Okay. So Fulani terrorists who are occupying different forests across Nigeria, they are doing so today because they know there is no military that will arrest them. There is no police that will arrest them. If any local vigilante touches them, they have to hand them over to the police and all of that. So all of this confidence are because Bokwari is there. They have this unwritten accord and agreement which protects them. So they will need somebody to give them that protection when Bokwari is no longer there. Do you really think Tifnumbu can give them that? They have seen it already that when Ikene Shatabandu became the acting president, when Bokwari was lying like a vegetable in London hospital in 2016, and Oshibade was the acting president. Within just 100 days, Oshibade stole over 10 billion naira. We mismanaged over 10 billion naira. The biggest of them is the NEMA fund, where Oshibade approved over 5 billion naira to clear a rice donated to Nigeria by China. China donated rice to Nigeria. The rice got to Nigeria, to Lagos seaport. They said the ship entered demurrage. Nigerian government did not clear it. Agent did not clear the rice. So rice donated to victims of Boko Haram, they called it. So the rice arrived in Nigeria under Bokwari. They said the rice entered demurrage. Since it entered demurrage, the government needed to pay government to clear the rice. And they needed a board to approve the money for NEMA. NEMA, as a National Emergency Management Agency, right? So they are supposed to have a governing board. Bokwari was too sick. He didn't inaugurate any governing board for the NEMA. So he was lying there in the hospital in London. Ikene Shatabandu, fake Pastor Ruga, acting president, was in Nigeria. Okay, so there is no time to inaugurate anything. Ikene Shatabandu just approved 5.5 billion naira for Nigerian NEMA to go and clear the rice from Nigerian custom. So it's like custom holding the rice donated to Nigeria to help people who are hungry, victims of Boko Haram. Then custom said, we will not clear this rice except you pay us. So NEMA had to collect money to go and pay custom. Then custom released the rice. When they released the rice, funny enough, they locked the rice up at NEMA office. When the scandal broke out 2 years later, the rice is still locked up in the NEMA office. They did not give the rice to the people they are meant to give the rice to. By the time they show the picture of the rice, you will realize that, God damn it. Then if that was the only thing he did, they probably would have forgiven him, okay? But he did other things. These guys, Abba Kyari, your de facto president, who was acting on behalf of Bokuwari, he was the one putting all these people in position. He was telling them what to do. He made agreement with the Buratai, the butchers, chief of army staff, and then the service chiefs. He made a deal with them that they will protect the regime. As long as they protect the regime, right, their job is safe. Even if they can't protect the country, even if the whole country is going up in blazes, right, their job is to protect the regime, and their job will be safe. And that's what Buratai did. Buratai said he's loyal. I am loyal to the president. I'm not loyal to Nigeria. He said it. I am only loyal to the president, the commander-in-chief, because that was the deal he made with Abba Kyari. Remember? So the insecurity escalated to this point, and you ask yourself, what is Tinubu going to do? So I was talking about much of the mistrust here, okay? So 6 years after that, the Yorubas are now what? We are now refugees elsewhere. So again, I don't know what they're going to sell to you as a Yoruba man. I don't know what they're going to sell to you as a Yoruba woman. But take it from me, it's never going to fly. Because whatever they sold to you back then, the consequences of that is today. Yeah. Okay, I think I wanted to say something about the crime Ikene Shatabandu committed. Right? So it was not because justice stole. It was that he sacked Lawal Daura. You remember that DSS guy that invaded invaded the judges' quarters, that invaded the National Assembly, the one that is doing all the kidnappings from the beginning of Bokuwari's government, Lawal Daura, DSS, the Daura Secret Service, the director of the head. So he was meant to be there. They brought him for a certain job. But all of a sudden, Ikene Shatabandu just sacked him. How could you do that? Also, Shatabandu also sacked Babashir Lawal. Babashir Lawal was the first appointment Bokuwari made when he was making his political appointment. Babashir Lawal was made the secretary to the government of the Federation for a reason. Then this guy, which they gave the role of rehabilitating the Northeast to, Babashir Lawal awarded 242 million naira to himself to cut the grass around the refugee camp where victims of Boko Haram are living. Okay, so this has been going on and on and on. Saraki National Assembly, Saraki Senate was investigating him. They indicted him. Bokuwari wrote a letter 2 times to defend him. Now Bokuwari is in the hospital in London. Ikene Shatabandu just sacked him. How could you do that? Man, you get balls, oh, you get courage, oh, you get confidence, oh. You sack 2 powerful positions inside Bokuwari's government. That means if this one gets, if anything should happen to Buhari, if this one should become president, it will take him less than 24 hours to sack everybody that Buhari put in power. So they are going to do Yaradua Part 2 for us. So the plan of Tinubu is to do Yaradua Part 2. Fine. So immediately they came back from London. They turned Ikene Shatabandu to special advisor on burial arrangements, condolences matters, and then trader money to the Bokuwari. He became a special advisor on condolences visits. He never ever get close to making any decision again. Now they have 2 years left. They constituted APC think tank committee, whatever, the contact committee. They brought in Ambode, that Tinubu sacrificed for Pontius Pilate at the appointer, the current governor. So they disgraced him and bring in the Pontius the Pilate, Ogade. So they appointed the Ambode has been appointed to be a APC contact APC Connect in Southwest, and then they jumped Tifnumbu. They did the same thing in Edo, where Oshiomole, the one that Tifnumbu thought he was going to use to pave his way for 2023. Now, Oshiomole has been completely banned. Yeah? They also jumped Edo because they believe that Edo is gone. They will never get Edo again. So the same Tifnumbu, they now compensated him with, I'm going to attend your birthday. I'm going to attend your birthday virtually. Go and tell your people. So the point here is that they don't trust them. They don't trust them with any power. They don't want the power to go to the Igbos. Because according to them, they just have this phobia for Igbos. And the country is meant to be a one country, one Nigeria, one Nigeria. Do you get that now? It should be a one country where everybody have equal right. Equal. But you know it. There is no equal right anywhere. You decrease. Which equal right? You want to go and tell a Fulani man that you have equal right. He shouldn't be controlling your oil block. It will tell you, are you mad? The oil block is inheritance from Uthman Dan Fodio, even though Uthman Dan Fodio never visited Niger Delta. Uthman Dan Fodio never had the courage to even get to Oyo. Uthman Dan Fodio, as powerful as they claim he was, his jihadi, whatever, anything he did was in northern Nigeria, not even the entire northern Nigeria. But a full animal will tell me, Uthman Dan Fodio, his grandfather, his great-grandfather, won Nigeria, he conquered Nigeria. We'll go find out if Uthman Dan Fodio conquered Nigeria, or you want to just make a Uthman Dan Fodio dream come true by believing that you have conquered Nigeria. Tifnumbu, they don't trust him. They are not going to leave the power for him. They have seen what they can do with power. Some of you may never have paid attention. I did. I paid attention. And now, before you know it, we're going to have this kind of people on our streets. They say, well, we don't have AK-47 now. Sorry if you don't understand Yoruba. In fact, I'm going to hold on to this. I'll share this with you some other time. It has to do with Oduduwa Republic as well, because I'm rounding up now. However, I have something to tell you before we go. My friends, check this screen. I'm going to close everything on the screen, and I'm going to share this with you. This. I received a request, which is really, really, really personal now to me. I received a request from this, if you look at your screen right now, I received this Save Our Soul request from a foundation. This foundation is from my state, Ogun State. In fact, the foundation started from my hometown, Oduduwa. They reached out to me. What they do is that they take care of the aged in the society. Our aged mothers, widows, widowers, mostly aged people. And what they do is that they feed them, not every day, but when I say reaching out to them, this is what they do on a very regular basis. So they reach out to them every month, food supply, medical checkup, monetary, gift, things that just keep them alive. Then they organize different meetings where these aged citizens in our, from my area and across Ogun State, as they are doing right now. So they bring them together like we do, abroad. You will see this meeting of aged people where they interact, they discuss, they talk about things that are personal to them, and they get checked up and all of that. I love this initiative. So they reached out to me, and I'm reaching out to you. I told them, I said, I'm going to share this with my friends. If you have a tenner, 10 pounds, 5 pounds, 2 pounds, 1,000, 2,000, it will be going a long way. And in fact, you'll be touching lots and lots of lives. Nigeria is very hard. We all know it. And collectively, we can touch lives. We have been doing it on Maiyegun's Diary. And I said, I'm going to share that with you. If you have anywhere with her and you are my friend and you think this is something that is right, something you think is good, I think it is something that is right. It is a great thing that we've been known and used to on Maiyegun's Diary. Every penny you give will be changing a life. Please reach out to them. Reference your donation by just making it, reference it as Maiyegun Fans Support so that they can know it comes from you. Everything they get, they told me they will account for and they will send their appreciation to you. This may be the greatest thing, though little, somehow, maybe the greatest thing, human contribution that you'll be doing this year too. I don't know how many you are involved in. This is one of them that will go a long way. I'm asking you to please support them if you can. And thank you very much for listening to that. Finally, you remember when they rejected a petition sent from the Benue citizens who are living in America. And the deputy speaker of the House of Representatives in Nigeria, Wase, said we had no right to send any petition on anything going on in Nigeria because we don't live in Nigeria. It was about the insecurity, the homelessness, the Benue citizens who are now refugees, and they have been abandoned by both government, federal and state, and they want government to do something about that and protect the farmers of Benue State. That petition was rejected then. Bajabi Amila, who is the speaker, returned, and then this happened. Just to share with you, it's an update.
Okay, thank you, Maguila. I believe this was the same that attracted so much attention in the last week.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. I think let me just say that there's been a lot of misunderstanding on that petition. I believe it is signed, right?
Yes,
by the petitioners. Yes, okay, I think that's where the misunderstanding came from. And let me just say this very quickly. The House of Representatives does not discriminate against Nigerians wherever they may be, whatever the remotest part of the world they may be. They remain Nigerians. I think the misunderstanding came from the issue of signatures. And I must say also that the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Wase, has been one of the champions for diaspora voting, and he was also involved very much in the creation of the Diaspora Committee in this House some years back. So I think having cleared that misunderstanding, please go ahead and lay your petition, which will be given proper and due attention.
Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you, Maguila, and thank you for your patience. Apologies to the TIF people.
The TIF people of Benue. So your petition has been submitted. We will give it a follow-up. We know they are just paper tigers who can only bark, but they cannot bite. They can, but they can't bite. However, it is on record that the petition is now submitted. Okay. So just before we go, it's been a long night, and thank you for every minute of it that you spent with me tonight. Okay, but it would be really, really, not so cool if you enjoy your time with me tonight, and you are yet to subscribe on Maiyegun's Diary. Well, before we go, I think you can do that now. For those of you who have been practicing social distancing with the like button, I think at this time as well, we can take a break from the chat, close the chat. Let's go subscribe to Maiyegun's Diary Politico. And at the same time, you can give me a thumb up while you do that. A quick one, just 10 seconds. Thank you. So, to every one of you has responded to this my request for help, I want to say this personally to you, okay? When you pick up that phone, right, or you pick up your laptop, you are about to make that contribution to this information on your screen, right? I want you to know this. You will be touching me right in my own heart, because this is a message that is going to really reach home. So if you reach out to them, please add that reference. The reason is because they need to know where it is coming from too, so that they can direct all their appreciation to all of you. I know we are going to make a lot of difference. I believe that, strongly believe that. Nothing is too small. Nothing is too big. I can vouch for this. Reach out to them. and you will be touching the core base of Maiyegun, the home. And that means you'll be touching my heart. Thank you very much. And to my friends who has done the needful, subscribed, or even joined my premium membership, or click on the like button, I am so grateful for that. Okay, I'm going to see you some other time tomorrow. Until then, you can learn one or two things from let me bring back or refresh your Oduduwa anthem reading before we go. I'll see you again. So stay safe and good night. Bye-bye.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Igbó nìna kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú Ẹ̀súnràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú Ẹ̀súnràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú Ẹ̀súnràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Ha! Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀.
kì máa ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lé ibo níṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹ̀rùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.